In this video, we are going to discuss the analysis for research question number 10, hypothesis number 10. The question is asking, is there a difference in mathematics score across gender? So the null will be saying that there is no difference, that the scores across gender are equal, meaning between male and females. And the alternative will be saying, well, there is a difference, okay? So what we need to do now, we need to get the data for such an analysis. Now, remember we said that if you have difficulties obtaining the data, you can use My Data. So you go to CI3QIBO, you go to classwork, and then you go to project information, you go to GREL's research project, and then you will see GREL data research project. So you can click on this and you get a Google Sheets with my results. And here it is. So we're trying to analyze the difference in score across gender. So here we have the column for gender. Let's create a new spreadsheet. We can call this research question number 10, research question number 10. All right, let's go back to the raw data. We can copy the data for gender. Paste it in our new spreadsheet and copy the data for score. Okay, so here is academic motivation. Here is feelings. How long? What is your score? So here is the data for score. So we can highlight this and copy this column and paste it in the same spreadsheet that we are using to analyze this research question. Here we can just put score. Score and gender. Because this was downloaded straight from Google Docs. So what Google Docs use as the heading is actually the actual question. Now here we have two columns with score and gender. Now let's click on the link that we are going to use for the online calculator. Score, right? This will be analysis number 36, test hypothesis 10, applying a p-value approach. Okay? The null is saying there is no difference. The alternative is saying there is a difference. So here's the link for the online calculator. There is a video already there to help you, but I'm updating the video because this one seems to not to be so clear. So you click on the link to access the online calculator, and it tells you a two sample t-test. All right. Here you indicate what tail is a two tail because the alternative is saying that there is no difference. Okay. So you keep it at that. By default, it comes as a two tail. The significance level 0.05, we keep it at 0.05. And here we click on enter the raw data. Now we are comparing across gender. So group 1, you can call group 1 male. So we need the scores for male and we need the scores for female. Okay. Now, what we need to do now is to go to our data now, and you can see the data is arranged as such. So you've got males and females in one column and score in the other column, but we want a column that mimics the format of the calculator that we are using. So we need a column for male and a column for female. So we have to readjust this column to make it suitable for to enter the data according to this calculator that we are using. So we need the scores for male and we need the scores for female. So what we can do now, we can actually rearrange this data in terms of ascending order, okay? F comes before M in ascending order, alphabetical order. So let's just use 3. I'm going to use 3 examples to ensure that the data is not compromised. So male 75, let's give it this color code. Let's color code just to ensure, because I'm going to arrange the column for gender in alphabetical order. So all males will be grouped up and all females will be grouped up. So you can facilitate a copy and paste. Okay, so just to ensure that the data was not compromised. Okay, this male is 75, this female is 80, this female is 50. I'm color coding it, and I'm going to arrange this column in ascending order. Okay, so females will come, all females will come on top, all males will come below. So what you do, if you're using Google Docs, you highlight the column, you go to data, and you go to sort sheet by column A to Z. So hopefully what it will do, it will actually carry column B also. Okay. So let's just click. Right, and as you can see, it actually did that. And I do not want okay, I highlighted the heading. Let me just go back. The heading was highlighted. I should not highlight the heading. Let's keep the heading as is. And go back to data, sort sheet. Oh, it's still organized the heading in alphabetical order, but that's okay. But as you can see, the data was not compromised, this male. So the second column actually followed the first column. Okay, so you can see this, the color code is matching. All right, so that what we can do now is to just go to female and just copy all the female scores and paste it on the female. Oh, it actually highlighted the heading too. Okay, so I need to copy this and put this back up there. Okay, and copy the female scores. Just a minute. And it is heading for female and male. Male and female. Okay, that doesn't matter. So male and female or female and male. Okay, let's go back again. Copy the females, put them under the heading of females. Copy the males, put them under the heading of males. So it seems apparently there are more females than males. Let's see how the calculator handles this. So now we can copy the males scores and paste it in the column for males in the calculator, and copy the female scores and paste it in the column for females. Okay, and we scroll down, we go to calculate sample. Calculate sample will give us the statistics. It will give us a descriptive of the data. Okay, that's not the test yet. It says that the average for female is 74 and the average for female is 72. There's a slight difference. Is the difference significant? Let's see. When we do the test, you see the sample size for male is 12, the sample size for female is 28. Okay, so what you can do, you can actually copy this and paste this in your analysis. That's the statistics for male and female. You can stop on the sample standard deviation. Okay. You can see the standard deviations are the same. You can use snipping tool to do that, and you can paste this in your data. Now let's do the test now. So you scroll down, and here we are going to actually do the test, independent samples t-test. So you click on calculate test, and it actually did the test for us, even though that there are more females than male. And bear in mind, we are taking a p-value approach. So let's just recap on the steps for the p-value approach before we can analyze this output. So you all can recall this document, which has a summary of the p-value approach and the classical value approach. Here it is. And let's go to the decision criteria of the p-value approach. It says you reject the null if the p-value is less than the significance level alpha 0.05. Otherwise, you do not reject the null. As you can see, the calculator says that the p-value is greater than the significance level. So the null was not rejected, meaning there is no difference between male and female according to this data. There's a slight difference, 74, 72, but this difference is not significant, apparently. Okay, it goes on to say the average of males population is assumed to be equal to the average females population. And that's what the null is saying, and the null was not rejected. And it goes on to say the p-value is 0.5, okay, which is much greater than 0.05. So this is why the null was not rejected. So you can use snipping tool also to take a screenshot of results number 1 and 2, and you can paste it in your analysis. You can copy from the heading 2 samples t-test pool and paste this in your analysis as a result of your test for hypothesis number 10. And I think this is for number 10, 11. So this applies for 11. 11 will be for across majors. So you need the data for majors. And number 12 is a qualitative research question. So for number 10 and 11, you got to do an independent samples t-test. Number 10 is between gender, across gender, and number 11 is across majors. But it's the same analysis.